I'm a new agent. Now what?
If you're a real estate agent or broker, this show is for you. Onion Juice is both a podcast and a movement designed to wake up and redefine the real estate industry. Here's your host, Neil Mathwig, for another stimulating episode of The Onion Juice. Let's join the movement now.
Welcome, Juicers. Neil Mathwig here, Onion Juice Podcast. Hope that you're having a great day. We're on to episode number 7, and this one is specifically for the brand new agent. So I'm a brand new agent. Now what do? You just got your license and you're ready to go. It's so exciting, right? You have 100 things you got to learn, and you've got to make money. You've got to it's just, oh boy, right? It's tough. So this episode is specifically for you. Before I dive into it, I just want to invite everybody to head to iTunes and give me a like, subscribe, rate, and review. And also, if you haven't already, head to onionjuicepodcast.com and download the 2-step listing process procedures, whatever you want to call it. It's a 12-minute video along with a cheat sheet. That's on onionjuicepodcast.com. And also join us on Facebook. That's where the conversation is. Just search for Onion Juice Podcast on Facebook, or you can also join me on Periscope. Just look for Neil Mathwig on Periscope. So this is the way I describe being a brand new agent. It's like you're at the top of a hill and you've got this huge boulder that you're going to try to push down the hill. The first time you try to push it, it doesn't budge at all. The second time, maybe you get it rocking. The third time, you get it rocking a little bit more. You get a little bit more. And all of a sudden, you gain momentum, and down the hill it goes. And the truth is that most agents don't ever get that boulder going down the hill. They push for a little bit, and it just doesn't go anywhere. And I encourage you that you have to believe that boulder will get going down the hill. You have to fight through. You have to believe. It's the most important thing, is to believe when you're a brand new agent, right? Everybody started out, every top producer was a rookie at one time. Do you want to be the rookie that becomes the top producer, or the veteran, or the one that makes it? I know you do, and I know you can do it. I may not even know you, but I believe in you. Because you have to believe in yourself, and I know that you can do it. So in this episode, I specifically want to talk about how you're going to generate business. I know that you have a ton of training you have to do. What you learn in pre-licensing is not going to take you far, and you really need to understand how to sell real estate. And so today, I don't want to talk about training or anything like that. I want to talk specifically about how you're going to generate business. And there's one thing that is very, very important to understand of how to be successful in this business, is that you have to remember you have to be the best at marketing. You have to be the best at attracting people. It doesn't matter how good you are at writing a contract if you have nobody to write a contract for. Now, I say that with a little caveat, because you have to be competent. You have to know what you're doing. But it's very easy to get caught up in the details of that and then never have anybody to write a contract for. So don't let that happen to you. Don't get bogged down with those details. You'll learn as you go. I'm hoping that you have good support around you. If you don't, you need to get good support around you, and have some good mentors around you, other good realtors that will pour into you, your broker that will pour into you, staff that will pour into you. Have yourself surrounded with good people, and that will help you get through contracts. But you really have to focus on marketing, and there's usually not a lot of support around that. They're going to give you some tricks of the trade and whatnot, but you really have to dive into content like this, and content that is going to help you in marketing and help you attract people. In my first year, I sold 36 houses, which is a lot for a new agent. And I rose to the top rather quickly. And so in this episode, I want to tell you how I did it. And I focused on three things. And now today, I tell new agents to focus on three things, focus on three pillars. There's tons of things that you can do out there, but just focus on three of them and forget the rest. Okay. The three things that I focused on was newsletters or mailings to my sphere of influence. I started a screen printing and embroidery business when I was in high school. And when I left that business, I had a network of people that I knew, and I had around 300 people. So I was mailing a monthly newsletter. I was mailing Christmas cards. I was mailing calendars. I just focused on my sphere of influence. And then I did open houses every Sunday. Back then I did them on Sundays. Now I wouldn't do them on Sundays. I would do them on Thursday nights and I would do them on Saturdays. And I always took off on Sundays. It was for church and family. So I wouldn't do them on Sundays anymore. But back then when I first started, I did them every Sunday, and I did them so much that I even did them on Easter Sunday, right? That was game day for me. I would prepare for Sunday, make sure that I got as many people to my open house. Today, if I was doing it, I would go door knocking. I would do a pre-open house for the neighborhood only. Help me pick your new neighbor and come check out the house. And I would go door knocking, and I would invite people to come to the open house. And I would also ask them if they're ever thinking about selling or if they know anybody thinking about selling. And I would look for listings. Not only would I look for buyers at open house, but I would look for listings as well. And if you go door knocking the day before and you invite people to this open house, it can really be powerful, and you can meet a lot of people. And then the third thing that I did is I went after FSBOs and expireds. The last episode, episode number 6, is when I talk about my current mailing program that I use for FSBOs or that I use for expireds. I stopped hunting FSBOs in the Madison market because almost all of the FSBOs were going on the flat fee MLS, and once they were on the MLS, I could no longer solicit to them. And so there was some that I couldn't find on the MLS, and I'd solicit to them, and then I would get in trouble. So I completely stopped marketing to FSBOs. But back then, it was FSBOs and expireds, and I cold called back then. Oh, I hated it so much, and I chased. But that's how I did it my first year, and I worked my tail off. I worked on my business so much, and then on top of it, I worked in my business. So I was always trying to create things and come up with ways to do things. I spent a lot of time, because I hated chasing so much, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how I could systematize things so that I wouldn't have to chase. So I would mail everyone. If this was on day one, if I was a brand new realtor, I would mail everybody in my sphere of influence, and I would go through and I would collect as many addresses as I could possibly collect. I think 300 to 350 is that sweet spot for a database, that it's manageable, but yet it's large, and you should get a 10% return on your 300. So if you got 300 people in your database, you should be able to sell 30 homes if you have 300 people in your database. So I'd mail everybody a letter. This is what I would do on day one, and let everybody know that I'm a realtor. And I would tell a story. I would make the letter to provide value to them. I would draw emotion. I would also take this letter and I would put it on Facebook, and I'd be vulnerable, and I would get the conversation going. Once I got my license, I would scream about it. I would tell everybody, "Oh my gosh, I passed! I can't believe I passed! This is so exciting!" And I would get the post going, and I get the conversation going. I would tell stories. I would talk about struggles. I would tell people that it's really, really hard to make it as a realtor, and I am just super determined to do it. I would ask for people's prayers, and I would get people behind me, and I would form a tribe that could celebrate successes with you. But in order to do that, you've got to be vulnerable, and you've got to wear your heart on your sleeve, right? So it's hard to do, but if you can do it, you're gonna form this tribe. And I often talk about attracting people, but I believe when you start your business, you have to chase. You have to chase for a bit. Don't chase your entire career, because you'll burn out. So start chasing to get some wins right away, but at the same time build your art so that you can start to attract people, and eventually you can stop chasing and just focus on the attraction model. So, and that's the attraction model is what I speak so much about. So yeah, so just, understand that you've got to chase in the beginning, and then the last thing that I encourage people to do is to build a top 25. This is a core principle. Core coaching speaks to this, and they speak to it way better than I ever can. But one of the things that they talk about is to build a top 25 network group. So some networking partners. So go meet people, and then after you meet them, maybe the next day you call them and say, hey, I enjoyed meeting you last night, and I was wondering if you'd be up for grabbing a cup of coffee. Maybe we can get together and see if we can do some business together. And then when you meet with them, just say, hey, I'm trying to grow my business, and I understand you're trying to grow your business. What do you say if we, swap referrals? And whenever I hear of somebody looking for your perfect client, I'm going to send them your way. And if you hear of anybody looking to buy or sell real estate in my area, be specific for what you're looking for. If they could send them your way, and see if you can build this, and look for 25 referral partners. 25 is a lot to maintain, but it's a good number. And then you stay in touch with these referral partners. These are really important people to your business, and you contact them often. I think it's monthly, and maybe once a year you take them out for a dinner. But these are really important people. Or if you score football tickets or baseball tickets, these are the people you send them to, and you really work this partnership with your top 25. So those are the things that I would do if I was a brand new agent. I just want to encourage you once again to believe and just know that you can do it. And there's so many different ways to do it, and don't try to do 15 things at once. Pick 3 of them and stick to them. And remember to have the 3 pillars. Again, my 3 pillars were open houses, newsletters, and FSBOs and expireds, right? So those are my 3 things that I focused on, and I didn't do anything else. And if I was going to do something else, I would drop one of those 3 things until you have more bandwidth, until you have a team or an assistant or an ability to have more bandwidth. That's the only time you should have more than 3 pillars. And we've got a top producing a veteran agent in our office, and he has stuck with his 3 pillars. And he could easily go on to 4 or 5 pillars. He's got the bandwidth now, but he knows that he's got to stick with his 3 core pillars, and he does it so well. And so I really encourage you to do the same thing. Build your business as if you're going to be a veteran, and do the things that are important now so that you can grow your own business and do really well. So if you're brand new, I wish I could give you a high five right now, because I know you can do it. I believe in you. I might not even know you, but I believe in you. So go do it. And if there's anything I can help with, I am all about empowering people and educating people no matter where you're at. Let me know if I can help you with anything, any questions you have. I'll even talk on the phone with you if it'll help you. Just send me a private message on Facebook, or join the conversation on Facebook. Just search for the Onion Juice, or reach out to me on Twitter, however you want to get a hold of me. Just send me a message. So again, thank you so much for joining me on the Onion Juice. I'm really having a blast with this. I was a little nervous to get this show going, and looking back on it now, man, I'm glad that we're doing this. So we're on episode number 7. 8's coming up, and we're getting in our groove here. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have a great day, and like always, remember to be the reason somebody smiles today. Thank you so much for watching the video all the way to the end. And the cool kids are subscribing to my YouTube channel. But maybe you'll want to listen to a little bit more content, and it would be great to have it on a podcast. So you should check out the Onion Juice podcast. Or maybe you want to take this even a step further, and maybe you're looking for a real estate agent coach that will help you take your business to the next level. You should check out Roundbox down there in the corner. Thanks again for watching. Hope you have a great day. And like always, remember to be the reason somebody smiles today.